What happens when three buffoons give life advice, explore unrealistic situations, and give random topics more thought than they probably deserve? It's the Spitballers Podcast with Andy, Mike, and Jason.
Skittles, Starburst, Slurp, Sweet Touch, Slurp Pouch, Dots, Lifesavers, everything.
It was the worst. It was the worst one I've ever heard.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt really good at the beginning, and when you're going the miles per hour that I was headed, and
how many miles per hour was that?
It was 182 miles per hour, and the wheels, one of the wheels comes off. Just one. That's all you need when you're traveling at that rate of a speed.
Okay. And
a wheel comes off, and this was no back wheel. This was a front passenger wheel that came off, and I went off the cliff.
Clara's in the ravine, my friends. That was the worst scat. That was the equivalent of projectile vomiting a scat.
I will say this. I don't know because we're remote recording and the internet does funny compression stuff to the audio. So I saw Jason's face
100%
doing things, but it just sounded like this. Squeak. Ding, hey. Like I heard fragments of it. So
my local recording heard the exact same thing, Mike.
So yeah, I think that's what I think that was the actual scat. I think the scat you heard was the scat that was squeak crack.
I'm on
like,
and then I think I heard a Lifesavers. Is that accurate?
Look, sometimes there's hot streaks and sometimes there's cold streaks. I'm on a 2-run cold streak of
sometimes
scats.
There's hot snakes.
Bearish markets, bullish markets. It doesn't go up all the time. Sometimes you got to go down before the stock can go up. Welcome into the show, the Spitballers Podcast. Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, Mike the Fantasy Hitman, right? At Spitballers Pod on Twitter, Instagram.com/SpitballersPod if you want to follow us over there. Today's segments, we have Would You Rather, Is This Real Life, and a deliciously colorful draft for you. Very excited. Appreciate everybody leaving their reviews. My personal favorite, I realized what my favorite reviews are. My favorite reviews are the ones that come through where, because they listen to the show, they're unable to function in some normal way of life.
Yes.
They're either not able to function at work because people look at them funny. They can't put their makeup on because we'll ruin their makeup because they're crying. Or
you don't want to listen to this at school.
No. Best case scenario, you're working out and there's an injury. I mean, at that point in time, we know we've done our job.
Yeah, there should be like a "Don't operate heavy machinery" warning label. But the truth is, those like Andy is sharing, those are what we really look forward to. We look forward to the catastrophes and the accidents.
Have you knocked down a building while listening to the Spitballers Podcast? We'll feature you.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. I want you to attempt some dangerous stuff and see if you can hold it together on today's show.
That's the next
Al Borland is concerned. Al, are you doing all right there?
I am fantastic.
Is that for disclaimer purposes? You just want to make sure we don't get sued?
Yes, sir. My job to regulate our liability.
Nobody's been sued for being too funny. That's never happened before.
Yeah, but nobody's ever knocked down a building by being too funny.
Yeah, that's on Mike. That's Mike directly.
Have you ever crashed a public bus because we were so hilarious?
Oh, no.
I want the tightrope walker. I want the next big, going from one building to the next. The next tightrope walker doing their big national thing, the hook that they have to go with is I will listen to the Spitballers Podcast while being between these buildings. That's what we need.
I want a guy who swims with sharks to be listening to this under the water.
A lawyer commercial. Were you injured jumping 20 cars on a motorcycle while listening to the Spitballers Podcast? Call Lerner and Rowe.
Oh, it is the best reviews we get. So thank you so much for leaving them on Apple Podcasts, supporting the show, subscribing. Let's do some Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
Would you rather? Question from Simon off the website. Would you rather be roommates?
Did he say?
No, I know what you're. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what? Oh,
that was rough.
That was
rough,
terrible.
bad, terrible. Would you rather be roommates with Dwight Schrute or Sheldon Cooper? Ooh.
Now,
I ain't never seen that show.
I have to preface this with I have watched, and I get it. When you talk about it, people get really angry. I think I've seen 2 or 3 seasons of The Office, so I at least understand the question of Dwight Schrute. Sheldon Cooper is now...
That's the Big Bang.
Big Bang, right?
Yes.
People watch that show?
I've never watched that show. This is an irrelevant question.
Here's what blows my mind. We can talk about
they made a
I know
prequel.
people watch it. I know they do.
No, you're told people do. And here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about CBS, okay? Because we watch football. That's, part of our full-time jobs is, being fantasy football analysts on the side to this. And whenever I'm watching these live games on CBS, they always have these shows that #1 watched, millions. And I'm like, that's a lie. There's no way that these shows on CBS are the #1 watched shows. There's zero chance. They're using some crazy metric.
Click Farms?
Where it's like the #1 watched show, you got to look for some small fine print there. Who watches CBS?
You're telling me,
television
Mike,
shows
you're
right
telling
now?
me there are warehouses full of people where they're all forced to tune into CBS.
But
so
no one's watching
it.
It's just a building in Alaska where there are hundreds of thousands of TVs tuned into CBS.
Are they all tube TVs? They have to be, right? They've got to be
they are the
big
oldest.
backs.
Yeah, only turn dial to get this thing on. It makes the boom zing when it powers up.
Look, this question's an impossible one. This one's more just a discussion on that show. I know I've talked to people that like that show and have watched it. Are we too old? Probably.
Did you defriend them immediately?
There's no way we're too old. We're
the
Yeah,
target
but we
demo.
don't watch network sitcoms. What's the last network sitcom you've watched?
Oh man, what is
Brooklyn
the
Nine-Nine?
last?
Yeah, okay.
That might be it.
That show's
And
great.
Parks and Rec, Office, Community. Those
It's
were
not
all
that far.
Yeah, but
Is
Parks
anyone
and Rec and The
watching
Office-
a show right now? A network sitcom. Is anyone watching any right now?
Network? No.
No.
What year is it?
So somebody watches network sitcoms. Somebody has to.
Maybe that's it. The bar has gotten so low.
to be the #1, you just need like 12 people watching. Like, once again, we are the #1. People watch Big Bang in droves. There was 14 this week,
Maybe
easily
you're right.
doubling #2.
Boy,
We pulled in a baker's dozen this week, fellas.
I'll go with Dwight Schrute, the only one I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dwight Schrute as well, because the one thing I know is that Jim, while being annoyed by Dwight Schrute, Jim has a lot of fun with and at the expense of Dwight Schrute. So I will happily play Jim here.
The things I know about Sheldon are all from commercials. I believe there is a Bazinga. Am I accurate on that? Yeah, we're shrugging our shoulders. I believe that is correct. And I know that there are commercials for a younger version of him where
Sheldon.
He seems even.
Oh, that's tied into
less
young
like-
Sheldon's tied into that?
Yes. This is how much people loved this character. I think, right?
I did not know they were connected.
Jason, it's connected, right?
I can only assume, because there's only 2 Sheldons that I've ever heard of. One is in Big Bang
This
and
is
one
ridiculous.
is the young Sheldon. I don't know.
This is ridiculous.
All I know is it was supposed to be a smart person show. I watched one episode and it was like, okay, they have no idea what they're talking about. This is really stupid.
Oh, man, you are bodying some network TV today.
Sorry. I mean,
Too
what, they
dumb.
need to be
It's
bodied.
too dumb. Look, first of all, we're going to get so much trash for this based on the ratings. We're going to get so much trash for this
All
segment.
12 of them. They're
Yeah,
coming
all 12
after
people
us.
are going to unfollow us on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, what's amazing to me is
That show
anytime
was, yes, okay, Owl has
it is a
confirmed.
spinoff. Yeah,
That show was watched by so many dozens of people that they made a prequel for it. What's
What's that?
happening?
but what you know what that was? There's another show, the one that had 2.5 Men. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That show
sounds like a
was
CBS show.
that.
Oh,
show
that was definitely a CBS show.
that was
Please
the
confirm
previous
this.
one of this, and it was. I was told that they make millions per episode, and it's the most popular show on in the world.
That show I actually did tune in once or twice.
Okay,
So
you did
This is not for me.
I am always amazed at like when you have the successful real sitcom that we know of, like so Seinfeld, whatever.
Back when TV was actually good.
Friends was a popular sitcom,
We
right?
are old curmudgeons.
Dang, we are. But
This
any
isn't
of those,
being old curmudgeon-y. We're new hotness. We're on we've cut the cables.
yeah, we're
okay.
right in between. We don't watch YouTube all day long, so we're somewhere in between. But those shows, the amount of money they make in syndication the rest of their lives, and the fact that they could turn the dial at any moment, like if tomorrow Friends wanted to come back for a season, do you know how much money they would make?
Oh, Netflix would pay them a cajillion dollars to come
Just
back.
to come back and do one season?
So
You can turn a money dial anytime you want.
I did a quick Google most popular network sitcom. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine did come up as number one. Then there was The Neighborhood, Man with a Plan, Superstore. Look, I've seen 1,000 commercials for Superstore. I've never met someone in my life who's watched that show.
Well, you got
Have
three
you
of us
guys
here.
ever watched Superstore?
What
Nope,
if they
but
start
I've seen the
playing the
commercials.
shows in the commercials and you don't actually, the show never comes out. You just get like 1 minute of the show at a time. You finish the plot.
Wait,
by
are
the
they
time.
counting that? Are they counting that towards ratings? Is that what CBS is
The
doing?
most watched commercials ever.
Because I watch all the football games.
All right, I'll move on. Braden from Patreon, would you rather get 1 cent every time you blinked
Okay.
or
Blink,
$100
blink, blinkety blink.
every time you fart?
Come on.
Oh, come on.
This
That's
isn't-
way too much. You got to lower that. You got to lower that.
Yeah, that's
As
not a
in-
fair threshold for me because I can just let them rip. I mean,
Can you?
Jason's
No,
on
no, no, no,
command.
no, no. No, seriously. I know we make the joke that you're on command with the farts, but if you had an hour, how much money would you make? That's all I want to know.
An hour, and this is my goal.
Yeah.
I
yes, it's your goal.
I could make $2,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think $2,000 sounds.
You could get some
healthy.
PEDs.
So you could in an hour you can make $2,000. So like you blink 14,400 to 19,200 times a day.
Wait, is
Okay.
that information? Like, how many times does a
That's
human
information. Yes, that's what I just said. Yeah, that was.
So what'd you say?
that's
Like 15,000?
I would call it 16,000 times a day on average
blink for the blink?
for the blink. That's
Or for
only
the
100.
toots, for
That's
Jason
only
Toots.
$160.
Oh,
But you don't have to do any work.
and but
you just gotta fart twice a day.
Cutting off a hot toot is a work now? That's a pleasure.
Yeah, I
No.
don't have to do any work now. This not only is it relieving, but it's maximizing my. I'm working for my family here. I am bettering the education of my children because I ate Chipotle.
I'm going to give you
And-
10 cents every blink. 10 cents a blink would get you $1,600 a day.
You got to drop it. You got to go 10 cents
You're going to
per
fart
blink.
16 times per day? Because you got. What if you forget to commit? Like I know I don't
have to
fart
remember.
16 times a day.
What kind
Mike,
of farts are you having where like you could just forget a fart away?
No, Mike, how many times a day do you fart on average?
I honestly,
Good
I don't know. I would
16 or less.
probably less.
I'm
Probably.
going to take the over for myself.
Well, we'll take the over for you.
But I mean, you got to change these prices. You got to go 10 cents a blink.
That's what I did.
Or $10 a fart.
Look,
oh, well, in that case, it's easy because 10 cents I'm going to make $1,600 passive income a day if I'm blinking at 10 cents each.
I'm still stuck on this. How are you telling me that your farts are not passive? It's called passing gas. It's passive. Passive gas. Passive money.
It's
That's
not called
fair point.
passing gas because it's passive. It's because it's
true.
passing from the inside to the
Yeah.
outside.
It's not called passive gas, Mike.
I mean, nice try, but I got to hold you accountable there. Here's my commitment. Here's my commitment to the show. I'm going to make a commitment, and I will.
You're going to keep a log?
I'm going to try
of
to keep
your
a
log?
log. I'm going to none of the logs, but I'm going to try to count and keep a number for the next show. This is going to be hard to remember.
Oh, no way.
But I'm going to try. I'm
You're
going
not
to
keeping
try.
a fart log.
No, I'm not going to write it down, but I'm just going to remember the number, and every
You
day
have one
see
of those
what.
little clickers in your
Yes,
hand.
I'm going to have a little clicker, like that. When someone comes in the store, they click another
chicken
person
terror.
on.
One of those
Oh,
little.
I'm ordering one of those right now.
I think it's a worthwhile investment. So you want to know whether you're over 16 a day?
I have to be over 16 because if
You might
I
be
get,
over 16 an hour.
That's what I was going to say. If I get going on a stretch, and
If I get going on a run,
yeah, I mean,
I'm
look,
warming up, fellas.
Look, Al
Here we go!
Borland can confirm this. We've been around each other enough on vacations where when I get going, watch out, people.
All right.
Hot roller tonight.
Yeah.
Well, look. Here's the thing.
Papa needs a new pair of shoes.
It would change the equation when you know how you're in like back. You're back in company. You're with people, and sometimes you might wait, and maybe you don't get that money back. Is what I'm saying.
You
have
consolidate.
to make that decision.
You've just lost hundreds of dollars because instead of multiples,
you might have one. Yeah.
You've just consolidated into one.
Yep.
You're going to have to be free.
All right.
Okay. All right. My metal hand tally counter 4-digit. I hope 4 digits is enough. Should arrive tomorrow.
You hope 4 digits is enough. You're gonna put it in your pocket, and you're gonna click it every time.
That's right.
And we're gonna get a total. And
Yes.
Oh,
unbelievable!
This is great.
All right, Carrie from Twitter. Would you rather be a dragon slayer, a dragon rider,
I see it in Andy's face.
or a dragon?
Yeah, I told him. I read through the questions, and I said there is a question in here that I am so excited to answer. And Andy's face perked up immediately. Immediately.
Is this because of our story?
Yes,
Well, look,
of
I wasn't necessarily going to bring up our story, which
Okay.
is triumphant, but it's for such a small section that most of our audience would not get it. But what we do get is, would you rather be the one, or do you want to be in Reign of Fire? You want to be Matthew McConaughey slaying the dragon, a dragon rider, which I mean, what, like Game of Thrones,
Like Hiccup.
style?
Yeah, you're
Right?
a Targaryen.
You're Hiccup.
Yeah, sure, you're Hiccup. Yes. Or you get to be the dragon.
Now, see, I think
this
being
is
the
a hard
dragon.
question.
Being the dragon is, I'm going to say, it's a lonely existence.
You are. I agree with that. You are someone who can morph into a dragon.
Oh, bro. I mean, that makes it too
Yeah,
easy.
that does make it too
Does
easy.
it?
Let's leave it. Because if you're a lonely dragon,
But
you're still
look,
a dragon.
if you morph into a dragon and you're flying around burning people's villages, they're not going to be very happy about it. People are going to be coming after you.
But they're not going to – you can get away if you can morph. You could be like just fly around the corner and then be like, where'd that dragon go?
Or
I saw him fly that way.
you could always eat the people, too, if they were giving you business.
Sure, you could.
I mean, there's nothing – that's what dragons do.
If I could morph, I'm definitely a dragon. So I think we got to
Okay.
have the ups and the downs of being a dragon. You don't just get
Okay.
all the pros and none of the cons.
A dragon rider means you're friends with that dragon.
Yeah,
You ever read Aragorn, the book?
no.
I don't do reading.
That was a movie too, right?
They eventually made a movie, too. Yeah.
What was the one where Sean Connery was the dragon?
Dragonheart.
Yeah.
I am the last one. Jason, did you see Dragonheart?
I'm sure I did. I don't remember it, but yes.
That was when CGI was just getting beta tested.
it was so bad. I mean, I remember exactly what Andy's saying. It was like CGI is coming in more and more into movies, but it's not good enough to be realistic, so you just cringe every time that the main character is on the screen.
It's also Sean Connery as a dragon. I can't think of a worse voice.
I am the last one.
Yeah, it's like,
It's me.
name's Dragon.
I know which one I don't want to be.
Dragon.
Her name's Dragon.
I know which one I don't want to be. I don't want to be a dragon slayer.
Get off
because
my
I
lawn.
feel like I
Dude,
feel like there's a
what?
good
Dragon
there's-
Slayer, you get okay. Here's
get
the
You're
thing.
heralded.
That's what you
I mean,
get.
you're
You get
heralded.
eaten. I'm
No,
gonna
you
lose.
slay the dragon. It's not dragon food. You're dragon slayer. You
You
kill the
are a
dragons.
hero. You have a really good chance. You have a high probability of killing dragons. And if you lived in a world where there were dragons actually
To be
flying
killed.
around,
Yeah.
a dragon slayer is going to be among the top
Dragon slayer.
careers.
Let's say I have a 90% chance of victory.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't taking that 10% chance of death. Are you kidding me? No way.
The fame and the fortune to be a dragon slayer, Jason.
For a minute until you're dead. I'm definitely riding the dragon. That's my final answer.
I think I would be the dragon rider as well. I'm friends with a dragon. I get the benefit of flying where I want to go. He'll probably defend me. I'm on a dragon ride.
How fast are your commutes? You know what I mean? It's like having your own helicopter, except you can land anywhere.
Yeah.
And-
I'd like to land there, dragon. Just burns it open.
And you'd be the coolest. Like, you get a nice new car and everyone's heads are turning like, oh, man.
Oh,
he's driving a...
What's that, a 98 Corvette? Oh, that's pretty cool. Have you seen my Dragon?
Seen my Dragon? he can blow fire. But here, we got to stop.
How much fire does your Corvette blow?
We got to stop for a minute because I know you guys are worried. Your story might not, be that great for people. I can tell you as an innocent third party who has never participated,
I can simplify
your
it.
story is amazing.
Okay. Mike and I used to play a massive multiplayer online role-playing game.
People know the game, Andy.
Called World of Warcraft. And so Mike and I, this was back when we decided to try to rekindle our love for this game as we worked at Jason's old company. We both started playing. We spent like 2 weeks, and all we were trying to do was get this dragon mount where you turn into the dragon, and you could carry somebody on your back. That's all we wanted. This was the hardest thing to get.
And we spent real life money.
Spent real money trying to get this thing.
So that in a video game, we could turn into a dragon.
Exactly. That's how cool.
What did you do with this amazing power?
So obviously, once you become a dragon, you need to use and harness that power for good. Or so what we did is this game, there are a lot of new players that join the game, and they're in new starting areas, and they're brand new, innocent little players. And Mike and I, both as dragons, we flew to those new lands, and we wanted to welcome the new players to the game. And so what we did, and new players, they can't turn into a dragon. They don't have a mount. They can't even get around.
Of course they can't turn into dragons. We are all powerful beings.
Yeah,
in the world of Warcraft.
all they can do is walk around. So we came up with a little business. We were the Dragon Riders. Or I'm sorry, Dragon, what do we call
Taxis, Dragon taxis.
So we said we would give these new players free rides on our backs because we were dragons. Now, here was the catch. We'd pick them up, and they'd be real excited. They'd be like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe you're doing this. This is so cool.
And they forgot the cardinal rule of life. Nothing is free.
Nothing is
free.
Everything
has a cost.
And essentially, once we got them up in the air where they were helpless, we would fly over very dangerous parts of this world. And then we would drop them.
Hold on. The best part to me is that I would, in the chat, start proclaiming, oh, no, something has gone wrong.
I'm going down.
I've lost control. We're going down.
Thank you for flying Air Dragon.
We would always thank them at the end and say thank you for your business after we dropped them into the top of a volcano.
All you would do is take all these players from one side of the map to the other and drop them to their deaths halfway through for your own amusement, and that is what video games are made for.
We laughed more at doing that than I think I can. That's the hardest I think I've laughed in my life. So it was a spectacular time, and we are awful people. All right, let's move on to our next segment.
Is this real life?
All right, another segment of Is This Real Life? And we each have a story from the real world. The other two have not even heard it. We're going to share it with one another and surprise each other with what's happening in the world today. And I can tell you, I am so excited about my story.
Oh, well, kick it off, my man.
Because I saw my story in a show. It was science fiction. It was pretend. It was in an episode of Black Mirror.
Okay.
Any of you, either of you ever watched that show?
I've seen a handful of episodes.
I've seen a few seasons of it, yeah.
So generally, Black Mirror covers science fiction types of futurism and technology that isn't.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah, and
it
something
doesn't
goes
generally
wrong.
go well.
Much like you thinking you got a free ride
on
the back of a dragon.
Never trust a dragon.
Never trust a dragon in a video game. Microsoft patent shows plans to revive dead loved ones as chatbots.
No.
Now,
I know the episode you're talking about.
Microsoft has been granted a patent that would allow the company to make chatbots using the personal information of deceased people. Now, let me fill this in for you and the implications I want to talk about. Because we have machine learning that's available now. Algorithms and computer machine learning systems that can take information and do better than a human can on compiling it and putting it together. The concept is that you would feed a computer information, things that we've done podcasts for 5 years. You feed the computer all of the voice lines that Mike has ever said. You feed the computer every picture of Mike that he's ever taken. You feed the computer every interest that Mike has ever had, every note he's ever written, every school assignment he's ever done. You fill in the gaps, and the computer builds a completely AI version of Mike that a person can then, when Mike's gone.
Look, this sounds rad. I'm
sounds
all for this.
horrifying.
When Mike's gone, you can interact with Mike again.
I will never die.
And you can, and here's the thing. Did you guys ever hear about Kanye West, what he gave Kim Kardashian for her birthday?
The hologram of her father, right?
The hologram of her father who had been
Tupac style.
Who's deceased.
Yes.
And it was a 3-minute hologram that spoke. They had replicated the voice. It was a message that he made for her about her becoming a mom and raising the kids and what a wonderful entrepreneur she was. But we are getting to the point with technology now.
This is not good.
Now, I'm not saying it's good.
This is not good.
But they even included in the patent the notion of 2D or 3D models of the specific people being generated.
This is not good.
Oh, this is not good. I mean, there are a million ways this goes wrong.
Well, certainly.
Oh.
And they're all highlighted in Terminator. But what do you think of that? This is kind of crazy.
Would you use it? Would you? I would not.
Let me ask
I know
you
the
this.
truth.
Let me ask you a real quick. Like, I've had most of my. I have one grandmother that's still living. My other grandparents are deceased, and I miss them. If you could listen to a little hologram of your grandpa on the tabletop, would you do that?
No, I loved my grandparents dearly. That is not the problem. The problem is not my grandparents. The problem is when you start getting into like my spouse, or if something happened to my parents. That's where I think.
Okay, what if it couldn't talk? What if it
rails.
was just a hologram? Would you want to be able to
Sure,
have that on display like a photo?
Yeah, I mean, that's
To
a memory.
and remember people?
Yes, because that's. I mean, you have videos.
You're not
What if
Pretending
once
there's
a day
photos.
it talked to you?
I would run.
Once
I
a day
would-
it said,
Oh, hey there. But I'm not pretending
It's
that
your
that
grandpa.
person is still alive, and I'm like trying to continue on interacting with them instead of going through the whole process of.
what if your grandpa was
they're
really
gone.
wise? And then you had a problem. Like, Mike, you're trying to figure out what to do with a job decision. Wouldn't you want to ask the hologram of your wise grandpa?
Here's-
like,
Your
what should
wise
I
grandpa
do?
is always going to say the same thing, which is buy stock in Microsoft. That's all that these deceased people are going to be telling you. I hear the Xbox is looking really good. I mean, nonstop propaganda. And you're going to buy it, hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, man.
You know who I like? That Bill Gates.
Oh, my
He's a number one.
All right, Mike, what
All
you
right.
got?
All right, we all have made it through 2020. 2021 we're hoping it's a fresh new start, but 2020 not the best year in all of humanity. And let me ask you this, fellas. Was there ever a time in 2020 where you just wanted to scream? You wanted to just unleash a primordial from the depths of inside and just scream it out?
I'll go as far as to say I certainly did.
Well, apparently a feller named Chris Gallmer, he created a type of avant-garde art project where he has set up a phone number for people to call in and just unleash fury upon this phone, and so that everyone can get involved in it. It's going to turn, and they're going to archive it. They're going to turn it into this art
Screams
project.
of 2020?
But it's just a metaphor, something of an act of service that this man has created for the rest of the world. That you just call up, no one is there. It's not a manned telephone, but you just scream and it records it and it helps you get it out.
But
Wait,
you
but
can do
this
this
is-
without that.
I know, but then you're not a part of something.
Is this an
You're
art
not a part of
project?
the collective.
So at the end, is he going to display all these screams in some museum where you walk in and it's just terrifying of thousands of screams? Like, what is the end goal here?
I know that you can check back after your recording and you can find your scream. I don't know what the grand purpose is. I think it might just be the purpose might be to just exist.
Artists are so dumb sometimes. Look, I'm an artist too, so I understand, and I created this app called a voice memo, and it's on I've put it on your phone already.
Yeah, but how do I get in on your voice memo?
You can't listen to my scream on this, can you?
I think I can.
Okay.
If not on your voice memos, I don't know how to hack your iPhone.
All right. Well, that's
peculiar.
Weird.
Yeah,
that's weird.
I mean, okay.
Now, the segment is called "Is This Real Life?" and I feel like that's weird and not real life. Andy's is literally not real life, but mine is real life, as in I can see this happening, and it's not good. The article headline is "Confused, Jealous Wife Stabs Husband After Seeing Her Younger Self in Old Photos." And this is what happened.
Oh,
she thought she was catching her husband with photographs of him with younger women.
Oh, no.
And she stabbed him multiple times.
No.
And then in the end, after she was arrested, found out it was her. They were old photos, but she looked so different.
Wait, but wasn't he younger in the photos?
I was going to say he must have aged wonderfully.
We don't always age the same. It's not fair at all. But this is real life where she found on his cell phone. And here's the funniest part is that these were old photos that he had digitized and brought to his cell phone so he could see memories of his wonderful wife. He did this wonderful thing, and then she found
This
it.
is why I
stabbed
him. And stabbed him.
Oh, no.
This is why I've said, and Al, you can attest to this. I've said this a million times. You've got to be darn sure before you stab someone.
Yes, it's an important. I mean, I would even say to the spitwads out there.
Yeah,
just make sure you're right before the stabbing. Always, you want to double check.
You need a party of 3. You need some checks and balances before
you got to turn
stabbing.
both dials on the submarine before you can start stabbing people.
You want to know what
people with the nuclear keys?
Yeah,
exactly. This reminds me of, like, I feel like there's going to be
it's you, honey.
There's going to be a sister article the next time we do this, which is confused, jealous wife stabs husband after he cheats on her in a dream. Because that's, you know what I mean? Like, the wife wakes up, she's like, "You cheated on me last night in my dream." I did nothing. I did not do it.
I'm looking for the
poor guy, poor fella.
That is.
How do you apologize for that one? Like, I am so sorry.
Oh man, sorry about the stabbing.
My bad.
Well, and let me ask you this:
You survived, didn't you?
He didn't do anything wrong.
He
right?
did. He did survive. No, he did nothing wrong.
He did nothing wrong. Is that the end kind of that relationship at that point? I mean, he likes her so much. He's got pictures of their like.
And they've been together for quite a while if she's looking that much younger in
Can
photos.
you forgive your wife for stabbing you because she thought you cheated on her with herself?
Like
I've forgiven my wife for stabbing me many times. So I would say I have it within me. Usually it's some kind of makeshift shank device, not a knife that she stabs me with.
We're going to talk about the straw, aren't we?
I have a permanent scar on my hand from when she stabbed me with a straw from Sonic. Those straws are legit.
That was going to be my point. Is like, imagine the party stories.
You wish it was a knife.
like have I ever shown you this scar? It's like the Joker. You want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah. Leanna, come over here. I can tell him when you stabbed me.
Tell him about the time you saw pictures of yourself on my phone and it made you real mad.
Not again.
Oh, Frank. I got him good.
I don't know why they're Southerners.
Well, Frank and Leanna they're just a couple of hoots.
Yeah. That is a ridiculous real-life
Wow.
story.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, people are they do unexpected things.
Stay safe.
Gosh, she must have aged horribly. She couldn't tell.
Look, I'm going to say she's added a few LBs she's not proud of based on really being jealous of that photo. And she was probably a beautiful young woman.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, wow. Shocking.
Oh, and that would be the worst. She's like, and you know, the worst part is you're with this gal and she's hideous.
All right, let's do a delicious draft.
The Spitballers Draft.
All right, our draft today is the best fruit candies. We've done chocolate candies before. We've not done fruit candies, and that made the fruit candies feel very insecure about themselves, and we decided to return.
I'm a big fan. Big fan of fruit. I like fruit candies far more than chocolate candy.
I do as well. You, Andy?
Mostly, but I am addicted to a ridiculous candy right now that is chocolate. I've fallen in love with Hugs.
What?
I don't even wait. A hug is
That's like the Kiss
That's
swirl?
a Hershey Kiss with something in it.
That's the white chocolate outside swirl Hershey Kiss. All of a sudden, because I like white chocolate. I know you guys don't like white chocolate.
I love white chocolate.
Okay,
That's Mike's
that's just me. I hate
stupidity.
it.
Mike hates it.
It's terrible.
And I like the white chocolate Reese's cups. I like the white chocolate Kit Kats. I like white chocolate anything. And then I was like, oh yeah, these Hugs exist. I remember when these were new in 1991, and now I'm like buying them by the bags because they're great. But yeah, fruit candies are awesome. I love fruit candies.
I thought that the only thing that Hershey's Kisses do anymore is just make Christmas commercials. Like
They do.
people don't buy them anymore.
I didn't think they bought them either, but then when I went to buy the Hugs, I saw dark chocolate kisses. I saw caramel-filled kisses. I saw all sorts. I saw cookies and cream kisses. I've seen it all. There's a whole world of Hershey's out there that's still getting purchased. So fruit candies, Jason has the first pick. There are lots. I mean, there are a lot of fruit candies.
So many, and there's so many that I love. I feel like there are two big players, though, in the fruit candy market. And there, you know, this is a long draft. We're going to get to all of our down-home favorites. But with the 101, I feel an obligation to take a big dog, take a Coke or a Pepsi, if you will. And so out of the two big players, in my opinion, I think one is the clear better option. And I'm going to be snacking on some Starburst.
Okay.
I mean, that's the classic.
Wait, are you opening Starburst right
I have some Starburst right here that I shall be eating.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Not yet.
But delicious. They are the 101. And, of course,
Is that original over there?
Oh, it's all reds, my
Yeah,
man.
I was gonna
it's
ask
all
that
reds.
question.
and
All
pinks.
reds? You have
Oh,
a bag
yeah.
of all reds?
All reds and pinks, my man. When they started making it like this, I mean, who wants the other colors?
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, that they're like orange and yellow. They're fine. If they're there, I'm
I
gonna
want
eat
orange
them.
in there. I want orange in. I don't want yellow in there.
But would you rather have all
red
of
and
them
pink.
and you have to have the yellow, or just the red and pink?
No, I'd rather have red and pink.
Exactly.
Now, with this draft, since we're at the top, does he get all Starburst, or do you get
Yes.
to draft? Okay, he
Yeah.
gets all Starburst. That's what I figured.
Yeah, you don't get tropical.
I don't want to
Starburst.
do that either. I want to
mean,
just
those are
do main
garbage, but-
themes.
And you want to know
Yes.
what I'm really addicted to lately, and
The,
they're not as
the berry ones are the best Starburst.
they're
by the way.
not
They're like-
as good by any stretch as an OG Starburst, but they're so easy to eat that it makes up for it. It's the little
suck.
mini Starburst in a
They
bag.
suck,
Are
dude.
Dude, they're
They're
not as
made
good.
with like a wax because you don't
they're
wrap them up.
pure-
they're made
they're
with like
pure
a
wax.
weird flavor.
But you could just eat so many so fast.
What
Well,
I always
that's true.
found.
Do you know what he's talking about, Mike? You
I
know what
do
he's talking
not.
about?
I do
So
not.
they make Starburst in a bag that are not wrapped individually, and they're all put in there, and then they have to use some other type of
Yeah, you're going to
chemical.
contaminate the flavors.
No, you don't, because they've put them in some sort of scientific shell that keeps them apart from each other.
Okay.
That's basically like they dip them in candle wax, and then they put them inside of the bag, and they
All
make
right.
them miniature. I think they're almost always miniaturized.
Yep.
And they're very convenient, but they really do taste different to me, not to Jason.
No, they're different.
I'm always fascinated. Starburst. I'm like, not that candy is good for you, but it's always fun to look at the nutritional wrapper of a Starburst versus like other candies, and it's like, holy crap, Starbursts are They are not good for you.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's if I remember right, it's like they're really, really high in fat content. I can't recall. Off the top of my
Jason
head.
would be
2.5
sharing his thoughts on
grams.
it, but he's eating.
For every 6 pieces, I can handle that. No problemo.
All right, Starburst is the 101 to me in the fruit category, so I am.
That's fine.
In fact, I think if you leave me with the one I don't want here, Mike, I'll be sad because I'll have to take it. But we'll see.
I don't
What's
want
the
it.
number 2?
Yeah,
Wait.
I don't. I only want the sour version of it.
Isn't
and-
Andy up?
Yes, but we know what the 102. We know
Wait.
what Andy is thinking about.
I'm not up.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
This is literally, just so you know, Andy, this is our 135th episode. And the order has pretty much been established from a long time ago. So you're
Who
on the
did
clock.
the scat on the last show? I did,
Mike?
right?
I did.
Oh, I am way off. The clock is going backwards in my head. So I'm up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm taking Sour Patch Kids.
See, that's
nugget.
that's a problem.
I know.
Oh,
That
I
is
know.
not fair.
I wanted it so bad. It's so good. They're just so delicious
The
and wonderful.
watermelon are the
Oh,
best.
stop it with your watermelon propaganda.
Actually,
the regular
Starburst watermelon.
no.
Oh, he's got Sour Patch Kids right on hand. How many candies do you have in front of you
he's
right
got
now?
all the candies. He's
Look,
got all of them.
Mike, I'm with you. It's not the fact that you just want the reds and the pinks, and then you just want the watermelons.
Stop.
Yeah, variety is part of what makes it good. You don't.
I'm
just eat,
elitist, okay? I want the all-stars. You can have the crappy players on the team.
well, you're also
Watermelon is triple A. Get out of here. The major leagues is the Sour Patch Kids.
I agree.
No
Anyway,
way.
Sour Patch Kids. I'm sorry. That's the best one outside of Starburst.
Ridiculous. The watermelons. Get out of here.
All
That's
right.
garbage.
So, Mike, I don't have to worry about it now. You're up.
do not have to worry about it. And I mean, it carries so much name recognition and power. I may just have to take it. I figured I was getting Sour Patch Kids here on the turn, and we talked about it before the show because I wanted to know. I was like, where are fruit snacks fitting into this category? And it was discussed before the show that fruit snacks are 100% acceptable in this because fruit snacks are in fact candies, just called fruit snacks. Wink, wink. They're super good for you.
These aren't candy. This is just a snack.
It's a fruit snack.
No,
you know what a fruit snack is? An apple. An apple or a banana or an orange. That is a fruit snack.
You want to know what the difference between
Doesn't
a
come in
fruit
a
snack
package.
and the Sour Patch Kids watermelon I'm eating? Sour stuff on the outside. That's it. It's
No.
It's condensed.
I don't agree with
sugar
either of you.
into a
How
form.
do you not agree with that?
Because fruit snacks straight up suck compared to candy. That's why fruit snacks are made with there's a lack of a density to them. It's like saying, hey, give me a gummy bear, but make it taste worse. That's what a fruit snack is. It's something your mom would be like, no, you can't have candy after school, but you can go have a fruit snack. Oh,
Right.
Mom, do I have to? Yeah, you do have to have a fruit
And that's
snack,
all
son.
marketing.
Yep.
That's the only difference is
They-
somehow mom and dad got tricked back in the day that fruit snacks were okay.
They got your mom, Andy. I'm sorry
So-
to tell you.
But they're not as
anyways,
good.
So anyway, well, okay, well then I'll give you my first pick, and you can tell me that it is not as good because
Wait,
when
your second
you're
pick?
I haven't taken my first one yet.
I thought you just took fruit snacks.
No. I was saying that category of fruit snacks is allowed.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And I needed to just declare that to the listener before I launched into my first pick because when you have fruit candy and fruit snacks mixed together, I agree that Starburst is very powerful. But I will take Gushers. I will take Gushers as my first pick because it is not only the best fruit snack, but when you are weighing it in comparison to Gushers and other things like that, or I'm sorry, to Starburst and other things like that, I'm going to grab me a pack of Gushers.
First of all, look, we agree on a lot of things. We disagree on a lot of things, Mike. If you had all the fruit candies to pick from and your first pick is to go for some Gushers, I'm shocked. I am shocked. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why candy's better.
Okay, why?
Because I just looked up some of them Welch's fruit snacks that you see people handed out, right?
Sure.
11
They're
grams of sugar. You want to go get yourself a bag of the Sour Patch Kids? 23 grams.
Per serving?
Yeah, that's the difference.
Well, what's the size of the serving?
No, the bag. A bag of this and a bag of that. So Gushers, you would reach for Gushers over any other fruit.
I would reach for Gushers before I took Starburst, before I took Sour Patch Kids.
To each their own. Now
I would 100%.
You don't ever get enough though. Do they? Why don't they make a candy bag style for Gushers, like a movie theater Gusher bag? Because when you get a Gusher, you might as well eat the box.
It's because of how they stick together. Because they stick together, it's acceptable when there's like 8 of them in this little bag. And you're like, oh, that's cute. If you had a giant bag and there's like 40 of them together and you just have this baseball now of Gushers, that's the reason. Because Gushers are awesome. Gushers are delicious. They are fantastic. But there's something wrong with them, and we all know it. You know, like you open it up, you're like, should I separate these? Do I just eat them all at once? I love them. They're certainly down on the list, but
they are.
But I'm not going to disparage Gushers.
Well, I appreciate that, Jason. They are my #1 pick.
I will say this. No. I will agree that there's some philosophical differences in how you choose candy. Some people want to eat a lot of something. Some people want something that's super, super sweet, right? Like you could have, you know, if you have a hard candy, you're going to be sucking that candy for a long time.
Sure.
You have a fruit snack, you might be wanting to eat a lot of it. You know, a Lifesaver's a hard candy. I think it's different on what, like if you're going to go watch a movie, do you want to eat a lot of something? Or do you can get over sugared.
Sure.
Can't you? I mean, you're not going to.
Yes.
I'm not going to eat 5 bags of Sour Patch Kids. I'd go, hey, that'd be insane.
Gushers, when I open a pack of Gushers, they are gone in under 8 seconds.
I agree with that, yeah.
And that is the problem. And I've never, in my adult life, taken 1 pack of Gushers, ever. Yeah, it's unacceptable.
It's one of the things you're
if
most
there's a
proud
box
of.
of Gushers, I only take 2 packs at a minimum, or, you know, it's not worth doing.
And we're talking about this like this wasn't a money-making scheme by the people that make Gushers. They know what they're doing. You're like, why don't I get more Gushers? Like, because you're going to have to buy another box of Gushers, you dummy.
No, it was so smart.
And we know you'll do it.
They're in such small bags that moms thought they could have them for after-school snacks. Here's a teeny bag of sweet things.
All right.
All right. You got another pick.
I got the Gushers. I know what the next pick is in terms of popularity.
What should be there.
And it's just not happening. Like I said, when it comes up, I'll say, yeah, I would have taken the sour variant of it, but I'm not getting
I know where
that.
you're going. Yeah.
I'm not
Which
getting
means
into
I
that
get
right
it,
now.
I guess.
But I guess I'm just a fruit snack kid, so I'm gonna follow up my Gushers. And if you want to eat something a long time, Andy, what if you had a foot?
Mm-hmm.
What if you had a foot's worth of fruit, my friend? And I will take a fruit by the foot.
I am so shocked that all of your go-to candies are fruit snacks.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. So here's what's shocking me. Like,
I can't believe
understand
it.
this. I understand what both of you were saying in the sense that it's surprising with all the candy of the world that you're going to the snack aisle versus the candy aisle here.
Right, that's where I'm at.
It's
But-
just a different aisle, man. It's still the same stuff, but it's better.
Why are we calling Gushers and Fruit by the Foot fruit snacks? Those are not fruit snacks. Neither one is a fruit snack. Like, fruit snacks are their own thing, man. We all know what fruit snacks are.
Well, they're
they
on
say
the fruit snacks
on the
aisle,
box.
man. They're on the fruit snacks aisle. I'm shocked because I know you like other candies, and I know we wouldn't have drafted these. So you're being strategically stupid because you could take all the fruit snacks at the end of the draft you wanted.
Nope. I'm living. I'm being real. I'm exposing myself to the audience. I'm saying I would take a fruit by the foot.
Hey, you know what?
There is no Fortnite pandering happening.
No,
over
there
here.
isn't. Which, you know what, Mike? Here's the problem I have now. It's my pick.
Yeah, enjoy it.
I'm
no
in a
one
bit of-
wants it.
I'm in a bit of a pickle because there's no way Jason doesn't take it.
You're darn right.
And if Jason takes it and he combines it with Starburst, he wins the draft.
You're darn right.
It's very possible.
So I'm going to have to take it. I'm taking Skittles.
Okay, there it is.
But I will
It's
throw
off
this,
the board.
I will throw this out there. There are Jason.
Oh,
that
wait,
flavor.
wait.
That
Oh, no,
flavor's
no.
the best flavor. Wild berry Skittles is the best flavor of Skittles, and he just opened it. Now tropical Skittles are great too, and sour Skittles are great.
Sour Skittles. Here's the problem with sour Skittles is I like to eat them and I get all the sour off and I chew them up and then I don't want to take those down. Like I've eaten bags of sour Skittles where I just chew on them and then I spit them out like sunflower seeds.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Now,
ridiculous.
Mike is living in his own place, and he's owning up to it, and that's okay. Skittles,
my own thing.
He's his own thing. I used to buy Skittles every day in grade school.
Really?
50 cents for a bag of Skittles, but the wild berry ones. I didn't like the OG because I don't want no lemon. Get the lemon out of my life. Lemon was like, somebody's like, oh, crap, we probably have to put something yellow in here.
I know.
You want to do banana? No,
sweet
banana's too
lemon
expensive.
desserts.
You want to do, what else is yellow? Oh, there ain't nothing. Let's do a lemon.
Have you guys ever had stale Skittles?
Oh, you're talking about rock? Are you talking about rocks?
Yeah, because that's what I just did. That's what I
like,
literally just ate. I was trying to work through about 3 Skittles since the last time I spoke.
You chip a tooth?
Those things were not good, and I'm so happy I did not draft them because they deserve the garbage can. Shame on you, Wild Berry Skittles.
Yeah, I mean, they don't last forever, man. You did something wrong in the past by having that bag still there.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever had sour or stale Skittles before. They're always great.
I didn't think it was possible.
Before you went to the movies as a kid, my mom would take us to the dollar store to get candy. And when you go to the dollar store to get candy to smuggle into the movie theater, that's the one risk you take. The dollar store candy, that expiration date, it's a little different than the $35 candy in the movie theater. So you're playing with some fire with the teeth.
Giving you the old manager special.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, we've got some of these. Where'd they come from? Oh, yeah, don't ask any questions. All right, Jason, you're up with 2 picks.
I am taking what over the last couple of years is my absolute favorite candy. Like it's unbelievable. However, it's lesser known. It's not like Skittles or Starburst, or it's not like a super commonplace, even Sour Patch Kids. But if you've had these, you're like, oh dang, that's the new hotness. And I'm talking about Sweet Tart Ropes.
Dude, okay, this is legit. I had no idea Jason was going to say that. Sweet Tart Ropes have become the greatest candy.
They are the best candy
that I have ever had in my entire life. And here's my story. Like my wife and I, we subscribe to one of the food services, you know, or like meal kits.
Jason has eaten every one of the candies he's picked.
He has, and he is making a correct decision. So a meal kit delivery service. All of a sudden, I open it up, and there's like, I assume it's a promotional item because it is Sweet Tart Ropes Wonder Woman edition, and it's tropical punch. I don't even like tropical punch, generally speaking, for a flavor. I would never pick it, but they're there. I'm making the dinners.
One thing leads to another.
I'm going to try this candy out, and I take a bite, and I'm like, holy crap! This is the best candy I've ever had in my entire
So
life.
what's inside of that rope?
It's like a cream.
Magic.
It's
like
cream?
a soft. It's weird because it's harder than a cream.
Now
But
that's not a Twizzler flavor though, right? Because I hate Twizzler.
No. I can't believe that you know about these, Jason. Because I
Do
just
I need
found out
to
about them.
Amazon myself?
Yes,
Prime
yes,
some of these?
you do. There is
Yes, you
nobody in the world who's had these. Like if you've had them, you go, oh yeah, this is.
It's the best candy
I
I've ever
got
had.
the votes, but I know that it's not super common, but it will be. I mean, our
Do
kids
I
are
want the
gonna grow
ropes bites or do I want just the
Both
one
are
flavor?
good.
Both are good. Both are really good. I will say this: the ropes bites have a tendency to be a little bit more stale, but they're both.
But
great.
you get different flavors in the ropes bites.
Well,
Do I want to try the?
The answer is you should be
Get it
ordering
all,
both.
my man. You get
should
it
be
all. I
ordering
promise
both.
you will not be disappointed. We can stop the draft because Jason took the best candy that's
Really?
ever been invented.
Really?
When you eat these, Andy, you'll be like, oh, that's something different.
Not a spot. Look, Sweet Tart.
Oh,
you are getting so much airtime right now.
my
you
mind is
owe us
being
money.
blown.
Yes. That's why my mind, I'm seriously freaking out right now because it's on my list of things to mention when the draft is done.
I can get it from Amazon by tonight at 5 p.m.
Oh,
You
congratulations,
upgrade.
Andy.
Treat yourself, my friend.
All right, it's on the way.
All right, so those Sweet Tart ropes,
I can't believe you knew
Interesting.
about them.
they are
I
so
think
good.
Well, I'll let you know. I'll let you
And-
know in 5 hours.
Yeah, and I will say this: they're not the only ropes that are good, because
Oh, Twizzler sucks so bad.
Sour Punch straws.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If I'm going sour, like Sour Patch Kids, I love, but Sour Patch Kids watermelons are the greater one. But Sour Punch straws are so good, and if I want
very
something
good.
sour, I would rather have the straw than the kids.
They are
Okay.
much better than Sour Patch Kids. I agree with
Boom.
that.
Really? You
Yes.
think they're better than Sour Patch Kids?
Yes, the problem is availability.
You only get one flavor with them too.
Yeah, that does not matter. You give me those sour green apple, sour
No,
punch
those
straws,
are great. The
and
green apples are
and
great.
I'm living my best life. The problem is
You found some-
availability. Like sour, I don't know if you guys. If this is just a weird thing that I've noticed. Like the rise of Sour Patch Kids. You know, I mean, those weren't around when we were young.
Some salesmen got into all the theaters.
But all of a sudden, it was like this brand new candy is now a mainstay in candies. It's weird how it feels like candy is a hard market to infiltrate, but Sour Patch Kids, they did a fantastic job.
I'm not even surprised now that Jason pulls out another pack of whatever we're talking about. That is incredible.
Where's your fruit by the foot, bro?
It's in the kitchen.
You were not prepared.
Man. I'm going to go with the candy now that – oh, wait, Jason, do you have another pick?
He didn't. No, he took it.
in a while.
2 straws.
That's right. Yeah, I'm going to go with the candy that I think I've chosen as my movie theater fruit candy more often than any other candy in the last 10 years. And it's actually Mike and Ike's.
Ooh.
I love Mike and Ike's. They make now I don't like the straight up normal flavor of that either, but they make some delicious berry flavors. The Mike
I like
and
the
Ike's
texture.
The Mega Mix.
there's the Mega Mix is legitimate.
Yeah, the Mega
Mike
Mix
and
is-
Ike's are so incredibly good. Now you could get the bad draw. Oh my gosh, he's
Jason
got
got Mike
some.
and Ike's.
He's got Mike and Ike's right there. And what flavor is that? The Mega Mix?
Oh, of course it's the Mega Mix. I mean, come on.
Okay, talk to me about the Mega Mix. I
Talk
don't
to
know what
Mike
it is.
about. Let's introduce him to the Mega Mix.
All right. Well, the Mega Mix, you've got strawberry banana, you got grape soda, you got mango, you've got watermelon, you've got blue raspberry, you got peach, you got pineapple banana, which I'm a big banana fan, and there's several bananas, kiwi banana, Paradise
they're mixing
Punch.
the tropical, the berry
Oh my
one, and the
goodness.
regular
It's
all into that
insane.
mix.
That's a little too mega.
No.
Now that's a candy that you get more quantity of that candy. You don't have to unwrap it,
Now,
and you get
Mike
tons
and
of it,
Ike's,
and it's delicious.
I just in my younger life, I had made the decision I do not like Mike and Ike's.
Bad decision.
I mean,
That was a bad day.
I stand by it. I feel good about it. But Mike and Ike's are the exact same thing as the pink and the whites.
No.
It's the same people.
Get
right?
off my lawn, Good and Plenty. No, you can just.
Yeah, but
Good
it's
and
the
Plenty
same
can
shape
go-
and it's the same texture.
It's different. No, my Good and Plenty's are smaller, pill size. Mike and Ike's are larger.
I don't know.
More delicious.
I need a side by side live.
And the Good and Plenty's are
I need
candy.
a measurement.
They're candy coated. I'm telling. Here, Mike, go to Amazon
You'd
right
be-
now and order yourself some berry Mike and Ike's for tonight.
I would
I'd get the
rather
Mega Mix.
die than order Mike and Ike's. I told you. I decided I'm not eating them.
Just because you decided doesn't mean
No,
you were right.
no,
if you
let
thought
me-
they were Good and Plenty's, they're wrong.
Here's
Let me,
if
let
I'm
me
going
talk
to
to
go order.
Mike for a second.
Okay,
Let me talk to
go
Mike
ahead.
because
Tell me. Talk to
I
me.
was with you, Mike. I decided as a young boy I don't like Mike and Ike's. They were stupid. I didn't
because
like
they're bad.
the-
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
100%. Never liked them, and my wife started buying them, and I told her I don't like them. They're stupid. Get out of here with your stupid Mike and Ike's.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I don't know what happened, probably due to it having sugar and me being fat, I was like, I'm going to try these. And so I had some, and I was like, oh, these are real good. Why didn't anybody ever tell me about Mike and Ike's? And based on the sweet tart ropes, the sour punch straws, I'm just telling you, Mike and Ike's are pretty good. You got to try them out.
All right. Well, you knew about the sweet tart ropes, so that does move you up a ring or
I
two.
couldn't talk him into it.
No,
but
because,
you got it.
because you don't know about the sweet tart ropes, man. You're not in that club.
I just spent $20 on him to get him here tonight. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yes, and after you eat them, you'll say, "Why would I ever eat Mike and Ike's when I can eat sweet tart ropes?"
You
why
cannot.
not both?
I will take your word for that when you try some Mike and Ike's because you decided that they were little licorice Good and Plenty's, which is the kind of candy my grandmother's grandmother thought kind of sucked.
Is it the same company that makes both?
No. Well, maybe
It has to be someone.
Eventually, it is
Owl
because
Borland.
there's like one company that makes all these companies.
There's like 3, right?
Good and
Nestle,
Plenty
Mars.
is bad and stupid.
Yes.
I mean, who wants little licorice covered? That's before they knew how to make candy. They like, ooh, what can we do? We need something. Black licorice, sure. All right, Mike, you're back up.
All right. So with with my first pick here, I will bookend it. I get to close out my draft. I will be. Oh, Al Borland says it's different companies. Oh, some
So
patent.
So you're basically completely wrong in every way. That's all that we're got. You're wrong in every way.
Hold on. He's educating us.
Good and Plenty's are Hershey, and Mike and Ike's are Just Born.
Now, what is what's the hot tamale one? There's another one that's just like
That's true. Hot tamales are like Mike and Ike's more than Good and Plenty's.
Yes, and those are made by Just Born as well. The same.
Makes
as Mike
sense.
And Ike.
Use the same molds.
Okay. So that's what I always thought about Good and Plenty's.
And they also make Peeps, just so you know.
Well, Peeps suck. But anyway, move on.
All right. So I will book in. I get to close on my draft. I get to take this. I figure this is far more up the
cheese snacks,
the realm of candies, and they figured it out because just like Starburst figured it out, like here's the best flavor, and they made a fruit variant of this candy, and I will take Cherry Lifesavers because Cherry Lifesavers are the best of the bunch, best of the fruit bunch. I don't know why they sell the fruit packs of Lifesavers because there's like coconut and like other trash in there.
I don't know why they sell Lifesavers. They're so stupid.
I honestly, if I had drafted Lifesavers, you would have buried me under the old man hat.
You're darn right.
Yeah,
Mike,
but I didn't. I drafted Cherry Lifesavers.
That might be more old man than anything else. A cherry hard candy.
Oh, that's
I'm not saying they're not good.
loves.
They're very good. Lifesavers are great. I was staying away from them because my grandpa already drafted them. But
yeah, see? You're worried. You're worried about your own personal brand. I'm over here just letting people know who I am.
Dude, you're flying. You're flying. Gushers fruit by the foot.
It's not just a worry about his brand. It's also the fact that Andy knows that there are really good candies in existence. And Cherry Lifesavers is not.
I'm looking at my list in hand. I don't see anything that needs to go above a Cherry Lifesaver.
Not on your list, I agree. But like all of Andy and I's.
Oh, man.
All right. What's your
Why are we
last
surprised
and
that
final pick?
Mike's dessert takes today as opposed to the other 100+ drafts that we've done? Why are we shocked, Jason?
I'm shocked because we've had such agreement on the on the sweet tart ropes and the sour punch straws. I'm starting to feel ashamed of myself.
Honestly. We have done things like this with candy so much and sour punch straws, and I've always been the last with my last time through. I always take sour punch straws because they're one of my favorite candies, and no one ever gives. I've never received any feedback. I figured that was not even close to your radar, but you ended up drafting them, so that kind of hosed me a little bit. So I took Cherry Lifesavers. All right, with my last pick. Like I can get some name power, but I don't.
I feel like there are so many other good fruit candies available right now. So don't mess up.
I feel like we have we're already to the bottom of the barrel here with fruit candies.
My desk says we are not.
Well, you have Mike and Ike people over there with your
now. To be clear, you've never had a Mike and Ike before, right?
No, to be clear, I had one, but it was a long time ago.
I was 7 years
old. It
was
pink and it was licorice.
I was at the age when every piece of candy is supposed to be delicious, and I ate Mike and Ike's, and I said these are bad.
You ate Good and Plenty.
Yeah, 100% ate Good and Plenty.
Oh man,
maybe.
I wish we were in studio and this could be a taste testing episode. That would be perfect.
That would have been fantastic.
All right, let's shut it down. Let's redo it.
All right, I will take man. One of them is just I like it a lot, but it's just too close to fruit by the foot. So I don't think I could take it, but I will also take Airheads. Airheads.
All right. That was going to be my next pick.
Oh, we finally did it. I got one that you like. I love Airheads.
Yeah, Airheads
those things are fantastic.
Airheads are very good. So with my last pick, then I will go with a different one that I reach for very often, perhaps underrated by some. I love fruit candies. I've tried them all. Mentos are amazing. Mentos are delicious.
I've never had a fruit Mentos.
Mentos fruit are super underrated because they're not common.
Really?
Yeah, they're actually real good.
Yeah, they're outstanding. So I will go with Mentos to close it out. Fruit Mentos.
So just a little peek behind the curtain. So we use Slack to communicate during the show to make sure we're all on point here. I take Airheads. Al Borland immediately says that Airheads are wax, and our friend Brian, who is he's nowhere near us. He's not listening to this show, but he was in our chat within 10 seconds to defend the honor of Airheads. So thank you, Brian, for having my back. He's got some alert Must
Airheads defend alert.
Must
Yeah,
defend Airheads.
that's funny.
All right, so I've got the final pick of the draft here. I'm going to take a candy that I absolutely love, that I know is polarizing. And look, there's a lot of things that are polarizing that I understand. I get
it has more than 4 letters, right?
Yes, but I would say most of these candies do.
What candy has fewer than 4
Let Jason
letters?
finish, and then I'll explain the one I was afraid he was going to
Oh, you were afraid I was going to go with dots.
Yes,
right?
I was. I was very
love
afraid.
dots, and this I understand to be polarizing. Because
my wife
dots,
loves dots, and
Is that your pick?
No, it's not. In fact, it was going to be my pick, but I let fate decide. I opened the box of dots. I tried a dot, and I said, if it's stale, because that's a big problem with dots, I'm not going to pick it.
This sucks. Why would I eat these?
And it did, but I'm telling you, when you get fresh ones, they're super good.
No.
But instead, I'm going with a candy that is polarizing. It shouldn't be. It's just outstanding. It's nothing but great. It's one of my absolute favorites, and some stupid people say they don't like it. I'm going with Swedish Fish, baby.
That's my wife's favorite candy, like in the land.
Yeah, I mean this deserves to be up there with everybody's favorite candy, and I don't understand how people can not like Swedish Fish when it tastes delicious. It's always a good texture. It's perfect.
Look, let me tell you a Swedish Fish story. Okay, I grew up. Swedish Fish were my favorite candy on the planet.
Okay.
I think that they're delicious. The flavor, it's unique. It's got a special little unique flavor to it. Jason's eating them right now. But quick question, Jason. Were all these candies on hand, or did you prepare for this episode?
I mostly
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
All right. One of the first things I did when I moved out of my house, out of my parents' house, was I got my own. I got my own townhouse.
Oh, no.
And when you have your own place, you can get what you want. You can eat what you want, right?
I'm eating cookies for dinner, Mom, and you can't stop me.
Basically, it was that. I bought more Swedish Fish than is acceptable, and I bought more Red Vines than is acceptable. And one night, I ate a lot of both of them, and I puked my guts out.
Oh, no.
And from
you
that
ate
moment,
enough candy to puke.
I ate enough Swedish Fish to where I threw it all up, and from that moment on, I have not had another single Swedish Fish. Because from that, you know how you can have a food destroyed by one bad experience? Swedish Fish were destroyed by that. But I did puke a lot of blood. Yeah, well, thanks. Adam.
I didn't need the vomit to know that Swedish Fish should not be eaten.
All right. Since that was a long and exciting draft, Mike has Gushers, Fruit by the Foot, Cherry Lifesavers, and Airheads.
Did you guys figure out the other fruit snack that's like Fruit by the Foot that I wanted to draft?
Yeah, it's just the sheet
fruit roll-ups.
Yeah, fruit roll-up.
Yeah, you don't know what candy is. That's what I figured out during this draft. Jason has Starburst Sweet Tart Ropes, which I'll be getting soon. Sour Punch Straws and Swedish Fish. I have Sour Patch Kids Skittles, Mike and Ike's, and Fruit Mentos. I just like that, I was willing to try the Sweet Tart Ropes, and Mike wasn't willing to try Mike and Ike's for me.
I can't believe that Jason took Sweet Tart Ropes with his second pick. Like, Andy, that should tell you everything. Nothing.
Why do you think I bought them? Jason knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
In this world, Jason loves candy, and Jason loves winning these drafts at all costs. He will throw a family member
he will pander
under the bus to win a Spitballers draft, and yet he was willing to take Sweet Tart's Ropes with his second pick.
It's good analysis.
Dots suck, so that was going to be one of my comments.
Yes.
Jolly Ranchers.
They're
classic,
on my list.
Old classic.
They're on my list. I like Jolly Ranchers.
High Chews. Have you had High Chews?
Oh, High Chews are good. Mambas
are good. Mambas are very good.
I always prefer the chewy versus the hard.
I do too.
We didn't get with any gummy bears or gummy worms, but those are classics.
No.
Yeah, because they're fine. And then I need to know what is the consensus feeling here on this show about now and laters?
Dangerous.
Yeah,
but delicious.
I think
I feel exactly the same way.
I think I just have too much respect for my teeth.
Yeah.
To that's all it is. When you're a kid and you've got teeth you're going to lose, go after it. Enjoy them.
I've had now and laters, and mind you, it was when the sun and moon lined up at the exact same time. Wait, yeah, there you go.
There was an eclipse.
And I've had it where like day one now and laters, you got them right off the box, or maybe right off of the assembly line, because that's how they're put together. And they are soft enough to where you get the flavor and the chewing and you don't pull all your teeth out. That is possible. That I've had it happen one time. Nobody believes me. I didn't take any pictures, but it did happen. But I think that wraps it up. That's a lot of fruit candies. Al, are there any that we forgot that are like your favorites?
Give me some gummy worms.
All right. You like Good and Plenty's? Because they suck.
Not at all. They suck.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody who ordered... Look, there are certain candies, if people went to the store and they bought them, on the way out, the FBI should haul you away and send you off to an island. I mean, if you're somebody buying Good and Plenty's, please don't listen to this show.
Right.
Just don't do it.
I would
just go
appreciate you find another podcast.
Find another podcast. Go find the Werther's Original people and get on with your life. All right.
I'd rather eat a caramel than a Good and Plenty.
Let's say goodbye.
What did we learn today?
I learned that Mike does not know what candy is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Mike does not know what fruit snacks are either. But I will go with I learned that CBS will not be sponsoring our podcast in the future.
Oh man! All right, Mike. Did you learn anything today? You learned that Mike and Ike's aren't Good and Plenty's. I know you learned that. If I learned anything, it is definitely that two companies make those candies, even though they are both similar in size, texture, and dare I say, deliciousness. Both are not good. Oh no. Okay, we've got a lot. We've all got ways that we can grow in our candy knowledge. I'm gonna grow tonight with those sweet tart ropes. I'm gonna give it a shot.
I'm gonna grow whiter with all the candy on my desk.
We're all gonna grow with sweet tart ropes, my man.
That's right. All right, gummy worms coming in from Al. All right, that'll do it for today's episode of the Spitballers Podcast. Once again, thank you for listening, supporting. Let us know how we're wrong on YouTube if you'd like, on Twitter. And we'll listen for a minute, and then we'll do another show. It'll be great.
No, we won't. But thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Spitballers Podcast. To see what other nonsense the guys are up to, check out SpitballersPod.com.